I'll just give you a bit of an update. I got my rods back out this afternoon about 2 o'clock. I got this rod in first. Well, you've seen me on film anyway. That rod down there, I put another 5 spoms out, and that has been fish over that quite a few times. There has. And like every half an hour, every hour, there seems to be something that's feeding down there. But whether it's tench, I think it might be tench, I don't know. But out there on the bar, I haven't seen anything. I put both rigs out there. I should imagine they're about couple of rod lengths apart. And then I've spread like 7 spoms again over there, and I just put a couple of handfuls of boilies out with a throwing stick, just spread about around the outsides and a few through the middle and that. But I've not seen anything show today actually out of the water. I've seen fish on the surface, and I've seen where I think fish are feeding, but there's nothing showing itself, and I'm really surprised after that storm what we had. You would have thought at least one of them would have boshed themselves out again. There's been a few on the surface this morning, but I haven't seen any on the surface this afternoon at all. I mean, ideally you want zigs on, really. If I had some adjustable zigs with me, I'd have put 2 adjustable zigs on and left one on the bottom, I think. But with me not having no adjustable zigs on me, it means I've got to try and cast from behind me here, where my rods are and where my bivvy is. Even trying to cast such as like a 6-foot zig out is going to be a nightmare. So I need to get some adjustable zigs sorted out. I've never actually used them before. I've seen my mate use them, but I've seen other people use them, but I haven't ever used one myself. In a place like this, in a situation like this, they'd be handy because I could bang a couple out in the daytime just to see. But yeah, so I'm just hoping. I mean, I had the feeling the other day I was going to get one when I saw them shows. But the amount of times I keep seeing it, like glugging up here, where off of my bait and that. You know, the rings are coming up in patches. Quite a few times. I'm very, very surprised that rod ain't gone. Very surprised. Especially with the amount of activity I've seen around it, but it could go through the night. You know. The other 2 rods, I had liners earlier on. After about an hour after I put the bait out, I had a couple of liners, and then I had another couple of liners, and then about an hour and a half later I had another couple of liners. So there's definitely fish out there. I'm wondering if I'm a bit too far. I mean, I'm on the bar there, I'm at 80 yards, and I'm right on the bar, whereas previously I've not fished right on it. But I don't know, time will tell. I would have thought there'd have been more on the bar with it being as hot as what it is than off the bar. But maybe I should have put one on the bar and one off, really, but it's too late now. That's probably what I should have done, really, put one on and one off. But then again, this one to the right is as you're coming off of it anyway, really, so it should be alright. There's nothing else I can do now. It's just a case of wait and see if I see anything and see if one of them goes off. I hope it does. Because this weather, playing and fishing night, fantastic. I've had something to eat. I've had some bacon and egg cobs, a cup of coffee. I'm going to sit back. I've just done a time lapse. And then I'm going to have a couple of beers and get inside the bivvy and zip the mesh up, because I'm starting to get a few bites again. I look like an antique dartboard. There's that many holes in me everywhere. Like a tea bag, man. So yeah. So fingers crossed. There's still a few on. There's not as many on as what there was. There's a bloke still on the island. But I think that's a different bloke now. I think there's another bloke still in that peg up there. about 4 pegs away from me. There's a bloke at the top. The other 2 lads off the other side, they've gone there, and the lad from over there, he's gone as well. And I think the lad down in the corner, I presume it's because it's just too hot for people. But we're lucky really in this peg because you've got shaded areas. I mean, down there, I can get down there in the daytime and it's shaded from dinner time till about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, so that direct heat, it just gets you out of it. It does. But no, it's what's the name? Very, very surprised I haven't picked one up over there on that bar, especially with the shows that I've seen over there. Well, that one big show, the big, and then another fish further up. Very, very surprised I haven't had something happen there. I mean, I've had them liners, so that's a sign that there is fish out there. And then again, that could be something in the margin catching them. But what I've done is, I mean, I'm not a fan of back leads, but I've put some back leads under the rod tips. And it's got the line right down, and where these swans keep coming in and out, they're there all the time. Apart from when it gets dark, they're just not picking the lines up, whereas if I hadn't had them on, they were picking the lines up, you see, so I've put them on. I don't like having them on, but they're on, so I don't want my rods being ripped off the rests or anything with swans. Fuck that. Right, I'm going to chill out and have a beer. So, I've done as much as I can do. It's down to the carp gods now. So, in a bit, people. In a bit. Vlog time, people. I hadn't updated you all day. It's Thursday now. I got up this morning and I made a stop wobbling the camera. I made a decision last night and this morning that I was going to stop because this red hot weather disappears after tonight, and you've got 2 or 3 days then of cooler weather and there's a bit of rain to come. So I brought work with me to do, and I've been doing some more work, so I've decided to stop. But it's been an absolutely hectic day. The water's gone flat calm now, more or less. It's just been so hot today, it's been unbelievable. But what I've done is, I've the 2 rods on the bar I've moved this way more because I've been getting liners. I've had a pickup on that right hand rod, and then I've had 2, 4, 6, I've had about 8 liners. So I thought to myself, I'll get my fishing rod out again, and I just had a bit, I chucked a lead out when I fetched my rods in, and I found another bit of it's like gravel, and then it's silt, gravel then silt, so there's enough for 2 rods on there. I think what it is I think it's like the end of where there's probably another little bar in the water or something. So I've come back to 15.5 wraps. I was fishing 20 wraps before, 80 yards, right smack bang on the gravel bar. So what I've done is I've come this way to 15.5 wraps, which is what, 4, 5, 20, it's about 73 yards I think. I might be wrong, something like that. And put the 2 rods on there. So what I've done is I've put some more bait out, I've put another 10 spoms out on that spot, spread it about a little bit tighter than before, I dropped my 2 rigs on there. Got the same rigs really that I was fishing with before with the fluorocarbon, except one of the rigs is the same as I was fishing before. The other one I've just used the Fox fluorocarbon, that's all. And I've just put a kicker on it just to see if it does make a difference. Because obviously that fish that I missed, I'm just making sure that everything's absolutely bang on, so that if I do pick up, it's guaranteed that it's going to get hooked. You wait too long for bites on here, so you've got to make sure it's right. Yeah, so like I said, I put another 10 spoms out. All I've done is I've just moved it I've just moved the rig slightly to the right, and like I say, moved them back this way a little bit. So I've got them 2 rods on there now, and then the other rod is exactly the same as before down over here, 9.5 wraps. I've just catapulted a couple of pouchfuls of boilies in a line and a spread, and then I put 10 mini spobs over it, and then that's it, and then see how it goes. And then I should leave them now. I don't think I should put any more bait in tomorrow. I don't know, I'll see yet, but I just want to see how it goes. You know, I've been here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I've been here 4 days, so, and whatever I've been doing hasn't worked over there so far, even though I've had a pick-up. But the rest of the time I've just been getting liners, so we'll just see how that pans out. But it's been an absolute grueler of a day, man. Like I say, I got up this morning, it was that hot, took the dog with me, went to the local shop, which is about 2.5 miles down the road, which isn't far, and it's Tesco's Express. So I went in there and got some more water. I fetched another 20 litres of water, because I've done about 25 litres of water in already. And then I fetched some more beers, cobs, some more fruit, and some crisps and that. And they were looking at me, gone out in that shop. I think it's a bit posh round there where that Tesco's Express is. Some big houses round there. They're looking at me, gone out, like I shouldn't have been in the shop. And then I went to try my card, and my card was playing up again. My card keeps playing up just lately. So by the time I'd done that, got back here, sorted the food bags out, sorted the bivvy out, sorted the dog out, bloody hell. And then I thought, right, let's get these rods sorted out. And I've had problems again with the spod rod. I've had another one, I've had the bail alarm go over again. I have, and it's cracked off on another one. I mean, luckily enough, the spot hadn't gone down on my spot. I've seen it float away a little bit, but it's just ridiculous. That's 2, that is. That's like bloody £26, £27. I can't be doing it. I'm getting sick of it, I am. So as soon as I've got enough money, they're being changed, they are, them reels. They're no good for distance, I don't think. As soon as you're trying to go any distance with them, putting any effort into the rods and any wind, the bail alarms just come back over and crack you off. You know, it's a nightmare, it is. It's really annoying, and it just sets you back ages. So I've had to reset up again with that and mark everything out again. Then I was having a problem with one of my rods. The really leader on it was, the line was acting up a little bit, so I've had to take some line off and retie a leader and that on that. Then managed to get the rods, like I say, I got the rods out, got some spot out, and then after prattling about with all that, got this other rod out and got that sorted out. Bloody hell, it's been a nightmare. Tied 3 more rigs up, and I could do with tying a couple of leaders up, really. So I've got a few spare. I have got a few, but I've put one of the rigs on my 2 rods out there on a helicopter type rig, just in case I want to change to a pop-up. I just fancy putting one of them on, that's all. So yeah, apart from that, there's not really nothing else to report. I've seen a few fish today milling about. I have. I've seen nothing come out again, top out, since I've seen that big one the other day over here near where I'm fishing, and up there I've seen no other fish top out at all apart from tench. In fact, I think there's a tench just there topping out. There's loads of tench around here, and perch and fry, loads of them. But there's a few on, but a lot of people's gone home. I think it was too hot for them. I went past Grimmy's Lake, and it's absolutely packed on there. It was packed solid when I come past. So, but anyway, I'm going to sign off for now because I just want to relax now. I've got my frying pan to clean now. and then that's it. I just want to sit down and unwind because I feel absolutely knackered. So I shall catch you later, people. Adios. Right, vlog time, people. Just thought I'd give you a quick update. It's now Friday morning. It's about, I think it's about 10:15 in the morning. But nothing to report. It was so hot last night. I was still awake. I don't know, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I've had a couple of hours sleep. Got up, had breakfast, had strip wash, had a couple of cups of coffee, and just been sat watching the water. It's really strange. It's like the birds coming over the spots, going to dive on the bait, but they're diving and they're only diving for so many dives, and that's it, coming up with bait, and that's it. So I think what's happening is fish are getting in when you're putting your bait in, eating some of it and then disappearing and leaving the rest, and then that's what the birds are 24 hours later or whatever, that's what the birds are doing, finishing the last bit of bait off that's there, because you're getting slicks and that coming up off of your bait. So it's getting the amount of bait right, what you're putting in. You see some people are putting loads of bait in, some are only putting a handful in, some put it in between. The way I've been doing it is I've been putting bait in and then not baiting again the following day, or the day after, and then baiting the day after that. And I'm thinking to myself, the approach next time will be the same on one rod probably, but what I'm going to do is put, say I've got 2 rods on a spot, I'm going to put say 4 spods out, and that's it. And then every time I leave the rod in for longer periods of time, and then every time I put the rods back out, just put 1 spot over each, 2 at the most, and just lower the bait situation right down. I mean, I'm not putting masses of bait in anyway. I mean, I put them spawns in yesterday, you know, and that was like 24 hours ago. What I should do today is I'll reel in, put them back out, and I should just put 2 spawns over that, 2 spawns over that, and then that'll be it until I get them. I'll just keep putting a couple of spawns over the top when I recast them. I think next time when I come, that's what I might do. Start off with like 5 spawns, 4 spawns, leave it 24 hours or even longer, and then just top it up with like 1 spawn or 2 spawn 24 hours later or a day and a half later, and just do that and see. I've got to keep trying all different baiting scenarios to see what works. And I think that first time when I had the fish, it's a very similar situation to what I'm doing with them 2 rods out there, really. There's not much difference. And that was a case of baiting it with like 10 spoms, 7 spoms, 10 spoms, something, when I first got it, leaving it for 24 hours. And then I put a tiny bit more bait in, and then I left it, and then didn't put bait out the next time. Waited again for a couple of days and then baited, but I still think that's alright, but I just still don't think it's right. I think what I'm going to do next time is definitely put 5 spoms out, and then leave it, and then 2 days later put a couple more spoms over the top when I put my rigs out, and then after that just put a couple more spoms out every time I can recast my rigs every 24 hours. And then that way I've tried just about every baiting situation. The only thing I haven't tried is just a plain boilie approach on all my rods. So I could have a go at doing that and see if that makes any difference. But I don't think it's anything to do with whether it's particle or whether it's boilie. I think it's the right amount of bait, exactly the right spot on it. And it's getting to know spots where they feed and areas where they feed, and just putting a tiny amount of bait on there. I mean, occasionally somebody that's put a lot of bait in is going to get one like that, because they trip up, don't they? But I don't see as baiting big and heavy is going to work. It's very rare it works on anywhere that, unless it's a day ticket water. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now, and then give you another update later. Okay, people. Morning, people. Morning from me, and morning from her. She's going back to sleep. She's just had a bit of bacon. I just had 2 bacon cobs. I went to bed early last night. I went to bed about 10:30, 11 last night. Slept through till 4 o'clock this morning. Got up at 4. Well, sat up at 4. Had a look at it. Went to the toilet. No, sorry, I did get up because I went to the toilet. Sat up, went to the toilet, come back, got into the bed, and I was laid there for about 15-20 minutes. I nodded off again for an hour or so, and then woke up, and then I nodded off again till about 7:15, I think it was, 7:30. But at the end of the day, I've been up every day, so I needed the sleep, to be honest with you, because I hadn't had much sleep all week with the heat. But there's nothing to report, nothing's happened still. I've had birds diving on my bait on the left hand side here, so there's still bait left there from me baiting up previously in the week when I have baited up. So I didn't put anything else out there, recast the rig out there. My other 2 rods, I got them back out yesterday. Like I say, I had a liner last night, a funny liner. In fact, to be honest with you, I thought the rod was going. I jumped up out of bed and run outside, and it was just a big liner, I think. And Bobby went all the way up, I think, and then dropped all the way back down. I stood about near the line for a little bit, but near the rod, sorry, not the line. So I'm still half asleep, and nothing else happened. But I didn't bait up again yesterday. So I mean, the first couple of days I was here, I baited one day and then baited the next day. But then I haven't baited up after that. I've left it like at least 24 hours before I've baited up again. I'm in 2 minds at the minute whether to put any bait in today or not. I might just sit it out for another day just with my single rigs out there. Change my baits on them but re-put them out there, because I just don't think putting bait out's working. I mean, there's a lad in the corner down here. He's been here a few days now, down in this corner, and he's fishing out to the bar over there with 2 rods, and he put I think 20 spoms out when he first got here, and then he's put more bait out again after that, and then he's just put a load more bait out as well. I don't think he's had anything. And then the trouble is, where he's fishing there, he's baited all that. There's another lad there, he's baited there. There's another lad in this peg here, he's baited there. So the amount of bait they've put in between the 3 of them, they're either going to have a couple of fish or they're not going to get nothing at all. I don't think they'll get anything. I think there's too much bait gone in there. It's too obvious that they're being fished for. But everyone's got their own ways, haven't they? You know, I mean, it's like this lad here, he gets his rigs back out at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and he's baiting up at 8:30 in the morning. Me, personally, I would have left it a few hours at least. I mean, it's bite time still. But everyone's got their own way of doing it. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. As long as you do what makes you feel happy and confident, that's all that matters. But you really do have to sit and watch these lakes and see the amount of bait that goes in, and how close people are to each other sometimes when they're fishing without realising. People turn up, and instead of going and asking the bloke next door where they're fishing, they just turn up, get the marker out, start spodding up, doing what they're doing, and before you know it, they're fishing right within 10 yards of somebody else, 15 yards of somebody else without realising. But that's just the way fishing is, isn't it, I suppose. So yeah, I don't know whether to put any more bait in or not. I mean, he's got bait in there over there on the bar, and then there's this bloke here, he's got a couple on the bar, but they're doing the same thing. They've got 2 out like what I have, and then one on like a they've got margin spots. Mine's a little bit further out than I'd say a margin spot, because I can't get nothing in the margin down here or along here. It just gets mullered by the birds. The birds are constantly diving. The swans are here all day long, and the birds along these margins in this peg. I mean, like the other margins, the birds don't get there, so you're alright. So I don't know whether to just put my baits out again and then leave it till tomorrow, and then tomorrow just put just a couple of spoms out over each where each rig goes out on the area, or to put some in today. I don't know. I'm in 2 minds, people. I'm not sure. I might just cast them out again, I think, and leave it till tomorrow, and then freshen it up tomorrow with some bait. I think that's what I'll do, actually, because there's that much bait going in everywhere. I can't see the point. I don't think there's bait already gone in on my spots, so even if there's only a little bit of bait left, there's still the smell of it all in the area. So that's enough, I think, with my bait being out there. I can always put a little bag on or something with a few boilies in or something, which I think that's what I'll do. Anyway, I'm waffling, I'm shaking the camera all over the place, so I bet the footage is like that. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to cast the rigs out and not put no more bait out. You've got to be strong in these situations and have the will to keep doing it. And that'll be 2 days then on them spots without any bait. Well, there's no bait went in yesterday, so that was one. Yeah, it'll be 2 days, just over 2 days by the time I do put some bait in, so we'll see what happens. Right, I'm going to finish me a cup of coffee, people, because it looks like it's going to chuck it down. It's supposed to rain most of the day and tomorrow, so but it's cool now. It makes such a difference. I mean, I'm still sat with my vest on, but it's miles cooler than what it was. It's just so much more comfortable. So if the fish are going to start feeding, they should start feeding today and tomorrow, it being colder in this rain, what we're having oxygenating water. So, right, in a bit, people. Top of the morning to you people. It's Sunday morning, it's about, I think it's about 8 o'clock. And me and the fishing dog tucked up in bed. I've got a cup of coffee and some biscuits, which I'm about to have. And I think we're going to be watching films because this rain is horrendous. The rain's been here since about, you must be able to air it. See if I can see outside. I don't think it'll give you a very good picture, but I think it's steamed up. But this rain, just 1 second, this rain has been here since, well, it was raining off and on a bit yesterday, and then it come last night and it was raining from about 7 o'clock I think it was, and it hasn't stopped raining at all. It's been raining all night like this, and it's forecasted all day as well. 100% rain through last night, 100% rain through today. I'm so glad that we're not going to till tomorrow, so I wouldn't want to pack up in this, no chance. I feel sorry for the lads around the lake that's got to go home today. He's got to pack up in this. Carp fishing wise, nothing still. I put my right hand rod and my middle rod back out on that spot. I didn't put any bait out. I got them back out there perfectly okay. My left hand rod I put out and I put a bit more bait over that. Just for something different really. I don't think it's going to make any difference, but there's still nothing been out all the way around the lake, I don't think. But luckily enough I'm not going till tomorrow, and this is supposed to clear up tonight, so it's been a hard week. I mean, it's gone from one extreme to the other. It's either been absolutely red hot where it's unbearable, or it's pretty raining. There's no in between. There's no wonder the fish aren't feeding properly. There's just no settled weather at all the time. We either have it where it's raining or it's red hot. There's no in between. So at least I'll be able to catch up on my sleep for a few hours today, because I haven't had much sleep all week. So I'm going to have this cup of coffee. Oh, he says yawning. Have this cup of coffee and watch a film on my phone or something, or have a flick through my phone, and then I'm going to go back to sleep for a couple of hours and catch up with my sleep. And this bivvy is holding up brilliant. I mean, I've had this bivvy about a year and a half I think now, and it's a Tracker SLX V2 2-man. And I haven't got the overwrap on because it's been too hot, so I took that off, and without the overwrap it's been raining constantly and there's no leaks on it anywhere. Absolutely brilliant bivvy for the money. Got it from Angling Direct, £270 on offer. For the money, they're unbelievable bivvies. So, but anyway, I'm going to sign off and I'll update you later, because all I want to do is get me a cup of coffee and then few biscuits, and then go on my phone for half an hour and then go back to sleep, and I feel knackered. Hopefully by then this lot will have eased off. I mean, she down there, look, she's sorted, aren't you? Eh? You don't want to move, do you? No. She's got the best spot in the house. You've actually got the little fire on as well. Little stove on. Just put it on. I've got the gap in the top of the door, not necessarily for the heat, but just to dry everything off a bit, because I've got wet jumpers and things like that. It was cold, but now the fire's been on for 5 minutes, it's nice and warm again. Right, I'm going to sign off and catch you in a bit, people. Hopefully some dry weather, doubt it though. So catch you in a bit. Right, bit of an update, people. I don't think that camera, stay there Sky, is high enough. Let's have a look. I think that might be a bit better. Right, bit of an update, people. There's still nothing happened. I haven't put any more bait out. Go on up there, Sky. Go on. Up, go on. Up, 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 up. Go on. That's it. Good girl. It's alright, she's got a bad leg. She's got arthritis in her leg at the minute, so she's struggling to get up and down stuff. Yeah, basically, still nothing's happened. I don't think there's been one fish out since I was here last Sunday. I've been watching the birds, you know, as everybody's packed up and gone, and the birds have stopped down this area, most of them. The tufties anyway, and the coots. And they're all over the spot still where everyone's been piling bait in. So what I've done is I've stuck to my spot out there at 9.5 wraps. I've put no bait out, and I've cast out a double boiler rig. It's like a wafter. It's a 15mm bottom bait and a 15mm pop up on the top. Crave bottom bait, crave pop up. So it just like hovers. There's a shot underneath as well to hold bang the hook home. On my normal parrot rig, it's just that I've added a shot, that's all, because of the pop up being really, really light. So I wanted it to be balanced properly. I mean, conditions now, it's really overcast and it's raining like mad. I'll just show you. Sorry, it started raining again. It's been raining like mad constantly, and it's still spitting, well, chucking rain down anyway. It's just that the wind's blowing that way, so you can't see it that much. But you can see the birds. There's birds down here still. So what I've done is I've put that rod back out there at 9.5 wraps on the rig that I just told you about. I've put this rod, the right hand rod, back out there at 15.5 wraps on that spot that I found that I had 2 rods on after I moved them off of the bar. So I've put 1 rod back on that, and now that everybody's cleared off, that original spot that I was trying out on the bar, I've put another rod on that at 80 yards, because they've been piling bait in all the way along there and along there. So what I've done is I've cast a pop-up out to it, just a short pop-up, 1.5 inches or something. It's a dumbbell actually. Instead of it being a round pop-up, I thought go with a dumbbell. I thought if I go with a dumbbell, it's something different again. And then what I've done is I haven't put a bright colour on or anything. I've just put instead of going for just a brown, I've put a washed out pink on, fluoro pink Crave dumbbell. It's 14mm. And that's on a chod rig. I haven't put a chod rig out for ages, but it's on a chod, that is. And that's, like I say, on a single. I haven't put any more bait out. There's plenty of bait out there. My other rod is on It's got a 15mm Crave bottom bait, and it's got garlic, Nash instant action garlic and liver. 12mm pop up on it. So snowman on there, and that's it. I'm just going to leave them. I mean, the birds are still, like I say, still hovering over the spots. They are out there. They're hovering over that spot out there at 9.5 wraps. They're hovering on that spot out there at 15.5 wraps, and they've been hovering over that out there at 20 wraps. So I mean, they're going down every now and again and picking beta. I don't understand why they're not clearing it in one go. You'd think they'd just go down, clear it, and that's it. But they keep picking at it. And I don't think there's any other fish about, because if there's fish about, there'd be slicks coming up. But so I don't know. I think they might be waiting on me, thinking I'm going to put more bait in as well, but I'm not putting any bait in today. So yeah, that's the state of affairs, people. Most people's gone now. I feel sorry for them and all, packing up in that rain. Absolute shit. I bet the gear's absolutely wet through. I bet they're still drying it out now. But there's me left on the lake. There's another lad on the other side. There's a bloke on the point still. And then there's another bloke in the bay at the side of the point. That peg there. I think there might be one more at the top as well. So there's about 5 of us on. There's still a few on the other lakes because I went to the shop earlier on. Because with the weather still being poor, instead of packing away with everything wet through, I've decided to stop on for another day or a couple of days. So I'm getting my work done while I'm here anyway. So I'm just going to see it out. I wanted to stop and see what's going off. You know, I've never fished it at a weekend when there's been loads of people on, and I just want to see how it fishes through the weekend and after the weekend. See if it gives me any clues or whatever. But I think the way to go on here, from what I can make of it so far, not the way that most people are doing, is by spodding loads of stuff out. I don't understand them, I don't, but it's up to them at the end of the day. I think you're better off picking so many spots and picking them spots out in a peg, baiting them and fishing them for so many days. And then put a bit of bait on them before you leave them, try and get back, get a bit of bait on them, and then fish them again. And fish your spots out in each individual peg. Try and fish so many different pegs in different areas, so that if you do see fish, which ain't very often on here, you know your areas and that. So if you move in a peg and you've seen them in that peg, you know you've got a gist of what sort of areas they're visiting or whatever. Or if you haven't seen any fish at all, and you're forced to go in a certain peg, at least you know where the spots are, and you know you've put bait on them previously. I think that's what you've got to do. I think it's the only way you can tackle this place. And when I say put bait on spots, I mean small amounts of bait. I don't mean like, I mean the amount of bait what I've seen go in this week since I've been here is unreal. I mean, some of them, they're spodding 20 spods out as soon as they get here. They don't know who's been in the peg before. They don't know whether there's any fish been out. A lot of them just walk round, look at the peg, if you ask me. They don't ask any questions or talk to anybody else. They just walk around and see where they can get in. They don't look at the bird life on the water or anything. So I suppose everyone does it for different reasons, don't they? I mean, me personally, I don't want to sit there spending loads of money firing loads of bait in to catch nothing. I want to catch fish. I want to learn about the place and get as many fish out of here as I can. That's the whole idea of it. I just don't think you're not going to learn nothing by spodding there. I mean, I've seen some of them, they put like 20 spods in, and then the following morning they've put spods in again, like another 10, 15, and then they've had nothing, and they're putting bait in again at night time, then the following morning. And I think to myself, we haven't even had a fish yet, or even a bite, or run, or nothing. So they've just killed the chances straight away. And you see so many people doing it. I think what it is a lot of them that's that used to fishing. I mean, I fish day ticket waters myself occasionally. I mean, I fish Bluebell Lakes. And that approach works on them places because they've got loads and loads of fish in them. But somewhere like this where there's hardly any fish in it, You know, I think there's only about 30 carp in here, 40 carp at the most. You know, and you've got 21 acres, so piling baiting like that is just not going to help, is it? But at the end of the day, it learns you. It learns you to fish in amongst it all, and to become a better angler, if you ask me. It's all a learning curve, so at least I'm going to get a little bit more of a gist of the place. Fishing through the weekend and then seeing what happens afterwards, rather than just turning up after a weekend and fishing it for 2 or 3 days or whatever. So, you know, I might not discover anything, but I might discover something. But I know one thing, I ain't putting any bait in today. I didn't put any in yesterday. I'm not putting none in today. What I should do tomorrow is just probably trickle a couple of spoms over each rig when I put it out, and that's it. Because there's far too much bait gone in. And just see what happens. Like, I've just had some tea, I've just had some crumpets with Philadelphia on, some fruit loaf, a tomato and an apple. I'm going to have a cup of tea now, no, a cup of coffee. The fishing dog there, she's had a walk, been to the shop with me, had a tea. What's the matter, you cold? She's shivering now, like she's cold. So, I better put her blankets on her. Right, I'm going to sign off for now anyway. Just thought I'd let you know what's happening. God, this is going to be a massive vlog, this is. By the time I finish, it's going to be like really 2 hours or something. But I bet it's boring. Just have to see that, so people either watch it or they don't, you know. I just hope people enjoy it. Anyway, I'll catch you in a bit. Alright people. Well, morning people. What day are we on now? It's Monday. And it's about, I think it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30. And this weather is just unreal. I mean, the fishing dog's sat there, look, getting the sun. I'm going to take the front off the bivvy, I think, in a minute, because it's gone absolutely red hot again this morning. I can't work this weather out. I mean, last night it was wind. It's been raining all day yesterday, and last night it went really cold. I had a thermal top on, sorry, on top of my vest, and then a jumper, and then a hoodie. I was that cold, and even had the bloody gas stove on in the bivvy. And now it's red hot again, but nothing. No liners, no bleeps, nothing. I've seen signs of fish this morning over this side to the right, down here in this area. Hold on. Down here to the right, about 10-15 yards off of my spot, but I think the tench. I've seen quite a few fish, but I don't think the carp, I think the tench. But there's been signs of something down here this morning. Now there's something's boshed out here, but I don't know if it was a fish or if it was a bird. I couldn't see any birds, but it's the same similar spot to where I saw something bosh about 4 days ago, I think it was, and then I didn't know whether it was a bird or a fish, because it's tucked round this corner and I can't see right away round the corner, you see, unless I'm stood right on there, and I'm not stood right on there all the time. But there's so many times it's been looking good for a bite. I can't believe that nothing's happened. I mean, I've been here, what, a week now? A full week? No, sorry, more than a week, and I'm starting on my 8th day now. But I'm going to have to go tomorrow or the day after, because I'm getting work done while I'm here, but I'm not getting enough work done. I'm just getting bits done, and I don't want to get behind with it. The trouble is, I ain't got my laptop with me, so I can't do any editing properly. So, photos what I do take, if I transfer them onto my phone, they're alright for putting onto social media and that, but they're no good for me to upload to Shutterstock. all my photograph agencies, because the files and everything have to be formatted. I have a process recipe on the laptop at home that does everything for me, or set it all up and it does everything. Sorts all my pictures out properly for me once I've edited them and that. So, I can't believe I haven't even had a pick up yet. I can understand why people say this water's hard. I mean, I've fished a few waters like this. You've just got to put the hours in and see what's happening and just try and learn. There's one thing I have learnt, all that bait that's gone in this weekend, and last week really, while I've been here, there's been nothing shown over the top of it, nothing. No fish boshing out anywhere along any of it. The only time I've seen actually seen carp with my eyes is that big one that boshed out there last Tuesday, I think it was. And that other big one that boshed out there, that was on the Tuesday, I think it was the Tuesday. Monday or the Tuesday. It's the same morning that I had a pick up about, I think it was about 6:30 in the morning. Got to the rod and there was nothing there. So, but since then I've seen no shows of carp at all. And I've been watching the water for all day long, constantly. The only time I'm not watching the water is when I've took the dog for a walk at lunchtime, or I've just quickly cleaned the bivvy out. Even when I'm cooking or making a drink, I've had my eyes on the water constantly, and watching and watching and watching. I mean, my spots, I'm satisfied with my spots, I'm satisfied with the areas that I'm in, but you know, so I mean, all that bait that I've seen go in since I've been here, the birds have been eating it. They have all day yesterday and this morning. The birds have been diving on it, so there's definitely no carp been touching it. So I don't know where they get to when it's all pressured. They get somewhere. It's finding out where they get to. They'll go somewhere, and I bet you they only start moving back out into the lake properly today. Now that they know. So I thought I saw something down that side then. Have a look, Sky, stay there a minute. Nah, I think it's birds. I think it's just birds, that's all. Yeah, so, you know, there's nothing else I can really do. I know this water's not going to be easy, and I've just got to put the time in. I mean, I was supposed to have been going home Friday or Saturday, but stopping these extra few days might pay off. It might just show me something, or give me a fish. And then I know the things I'm doing are right, really. I mean, I started off with bait, but the last few days I haven't put any bait in at all. Like I say, so there's been no bait gone in for a few days. Two days, I think it is. 2 days. 2 full days, 2.5 days. It's been nearly 3 days today. I just haven't felt the need because there's been that much bait that's already gone in previously and around the lake. So, but I'm tempted today just to put a couple of spots over each rod. I'm going to put them all 3 back out on them spots again, and keep the rods separated. One at 80 yards, one at, I think it's 72 yards. That one, the furthest one's on the gravel bar. That one there is on a patch that's like, it's got some gravel, but then it goes into silt. And then obviously the other one there, which is halfway up, like such as like the marginal shelf, in about 12 foot of water. And then put them back on the spots, and I think what I'll do is just put a couple of spoms over each one once I've got them out, 'cause I'm fishing with slack lines anyway. And then just knit the rigs in this afternoon, just see if the hooks need a bit of a sharpen. Some baits on, fresh baits, and put them back out. And that's all I can do. And as far as hook sharpening, I mean, I do sharpen my hooks, but if I'm fishing where I know there's bars or gravel, I don't do a full sharpen on my hooks. I tend to use them out of the packet as they are. I'll get the sharp ones out of the packet, use them when my rod's been out there. I fetch it in, have a feel of the hook. If it feels like it's, you know, dulled a little bit, then all I do is use my jag file and just go up the back edge of the hook about 2 or 3 times, and it just sharpens it up enough again. So I don't like to sharpen them properly, doing all 3 sides when you're fishing where there's bars, because the hooks bend over too easy when you do that. I think that's perfectly alright when you're fishing in just complete silt or weed. When you're fishing where there's gravel and bars, I think if you sharpen your hooks up like that all the way around, as soon as you put that hook out, when you come to reel in again, it's going to catch something, and the hook's knackered anyway. So I think people get too obsessed with hook sharpening. I do. Don't get me wrong, I think it's worth doing at the right time, but then again, everybody's different, I suppose, whatever makes you feel confident. But me personally, I think if you're fishing where there's bars and that, I'd avoid sharpening your hook all the way around properly, because it can weaken the hook, and I think as soon as you catch it on the bars or the gravel or whatever, that's it, the hook's knackered anyway. So then you're sharpening away at it again, and you're taking even more metal off the hook, and then you're left with a thin piece of metal that I don't think is strong enough if you get on these bigger fish. So you're getting some sun, Sky. Yeah, so I'm sorry if the vlog's a bit boring, because there's no fish, and it's been going on and on because I've been here a long time, so I'm just trying to show the reality of it, really. You know, people watch all these programmes on television now to do with fishing, and they think you just go carp fishing and catch fish like that all the time. You know, you can do if you're fishing a day ticket water that's got thousands of carp in, but to me that's not really a challenge. So I'm just trying to show what proper carp fishing is all about, that's all. And why I'm saying that, I'd just like to thank everybody that does watch, and thank everybody that subscribes. At the end of the day, I do this just to keep a diary for myself, and also to help anybody out if I can. You know, I'm not into trying to sell stuff or anything like that. I just basically just showing you what I do when I come fishing. And if somebody can take something from that and learn from it, or put it into their fishing, or fish the places that I've been fishing and it helps them, then it's well worth doing. You know, I just wish there was a fish there for you to see, people, but at the minute, nothing. So we've still got a chance yet, because I might, like I say, I'm either going to be going tomorrow morning or the morning after, but then that's it definitely then, because I mean really these 10 days that I've had way fish, 9 days that I've had way fishing, it'll be classed as like my holiday really, because normally I only come for 4 days or 5 days once a month after I've worked 3 weeks solid in a row, 7 days. So anyway, I'm waffling there, so I'm probably boring the arse off you, so I'm going to sign off, get another cup of coffee I think, and then yeah, the camera's on. I'm just checking, see if the camera's on. I got cut off, didn't I? I can't remember what I said now before. But anyway, plan is, like I say, it's about 11:30, 11:15 now. Just give it another 3/4 of an hour, and I'm going to take all 3 rods out. And I'm just going to put them back out. The one on the 9.5 wraps, the one out there on the bar, and the one down here on this other spot, and I'm going to put a couple of spoms over each one, 2 or 3 spoms over each one, just so there's a bit of smell, because a lot of that bait now, what was all out there, I can see the birds have been clearing it. I'm not saying that there's none out there still, but so I'm just going to put a couple of spoms over the top of my rigs once I've got them out. But it's so hot now, it's beautiful. Completely different day again compared to how it was. There's still nothing come out there around the lake, not that I'm aware of anyway. There's another bloke over there who's spodding out now. But it's funny how you get a lot of people that, I don't know why they do it, but some people it's like 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're spodding more gear out. I think to myself, you're still in bite time. But everyone's got their own way, haven't they? But me, I think you're better off waiting till lunchtime, I do, and just getting it out in the afternoon. That way you're guaranteed you've seen bite time through, aren't you? And then when you take your rigs out of the water and put more bait in, you're not really interfering with any feeding time. Well, you hope not, anyway. But, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to switch this camera off because I need to get a proper charge on it, really. I've only charged it slightly. So I'm going to go and put my big charger in the plug it in the van. So I'll catch you in a bit. Adios, amigos. Bit of an update, people. Still nothing. Nothing's happened at all. The only thing that's happened is I've seen my spot slick up a couple of times, but still nothing. But what I did last night was, instead of fishing my 3 spots, I moved this left hand rod here out of this 12-foot of water and put that on the bar with the other rod. And what I did was I put about 15 small spoms out on that spot, and then I put about another 10 on this other spot, because this bloke came around yesterday and I was talking to this bloke and I didn't think anything has been out. There's been nothing out around the old lake apart from the lad on the island. And the lad on the island, he's had 4 out, I think, or 5. And I've been watching how he's baiting. He's putting a hell of a lot of baiting every time he's baiting up. Sky, come here. Stay here. So, I thought to myself, well, I'll put a little bit of bait in then. So like I said, I put about 15 spoms over that bar spot, moved my other rod, and then I put about another 10 or so on the other one. I was having massive problems yesterday with the spot. The spot just kept opening all the time. It was taking me ages to bait up. Every time I was trying to bait up with it, it just kept coming open and open, so that's going to have to go in the bin, this one. It's crap. Must be one of the old spots. I can't remember now. It's rubbish. So I'm going to get another Nash Dot spot. A couple of Nash Dot spots, that's what I'm going to get. But I weren't having that problem with the bear alarms yesterday on the reels, like I have been doing with the smaller spot. So I'm wondering if it's the weight that I'm casting with this. I don't know, triggering the bail alarms to go over. I don't know, I can't understand it. So, but anyway, so my last day today, and I'll go and pack up and go home tomorrow dinner time. So I've done 9 days then. 9 days without to fish. I mean, it's not the first time. I've fished a lot of hard waters. I prefer to fish hard waters, but it doesn't make it very good watching when you're not catching no fish, that's all. So what I might do next time, obviously I'll come on here, but I might do a couple of days on Grimmers Lake, just catch a few fish out of there, just for a video, like, just so people can see me catching a few fish. Because otherwise people's going to get bored of watching this all the time on here, but we're not catching no fish. Because I ain't going to get fish every time I come here, nowhere. What are you doing, Scar? Do you know something? This dog is crazy, aren't you? Huh? You always want to sit in the most awkward of positions. She does. She can have a bed or whatever, and she wouldn't mind. It's like, now she could have had all this room this side, she's got to this side where she's squashed up against the kettle and everything. Unbelievable. You're mad, aren't you, Scar? Eh? Scar, you're mad? You're mad? Yeah. Alright. So, yeah. So, looks like the only person that's had any fish is the ones with planning those baiting. She never would have thought about it, so it just shows you, doesn't it? I've been taking like softly approach, really. I haven't put a lot of bait in at all. I mean, I had a full bucket of bait when I come on this yesterday I'd only used about that much out. Not even half of it. I don't know, maybe next time it might pay me to try that and fish a spot. Fish 3 spots again. Bait 3 spots up, 2 of them just with a little bit of bait on. And then 1 spot with a lot of bait on. Put, for the first few days, put the 2 rods on the heavy baited spot, like I've done now. And see how that goes. And if it doesn't work out, then I can always move that rod off the other spot that I've baited just a little bit. I think that's the best way still, is fishing 3 different spots until you do get a fish, and if you do get a fish you can move one of your other rods onto that spot and then bait a bit more. Because these margins down here, I think I've seen a couple of calm down margins or heard them, only small ones, but you just can't bait these 2 margins in this pack. The birds go up and down the margin all day, all night, picking up baits. Picking it food, out of the margins, so as soon as you put any bait in, they're on it straight away. So that's out of the question. So it only leaves you in this peg fishing out there really. So you've got the bar option, and there's that other spot that I found, and then everything else is all dead silter. I mean, out there, if you come off the bar and come towards this way, it's like really 20-foot water in places again. So yeah, still got time yet though, still time. I just have to wait and see that sort of what happens. I don't think I could have fished any better really in the peg down there. The thing that's put me off a little bit is that's where I had that crack off with the bloody that fox spawn. That threw me off, and then with that spawn not working properly, that's threw me off as well a little bit. Because you're trying to bait up at a certain time or whatever and get the bait in that spot as quick as you can. And it's taking ages because half the time the spawn's not working. I'm having to fill it up, shake it like that over the bucket, make sure it's not opening, and then shake it over the reeds again. And 8 times out of 10 it opens up. So I have to re-empty it again, refill it again, and try again. Bloody nightmare. So you can't get into no rhythm. You can't. So when you can't get into no rhythm like that, not every single spot is where you want it to be. Some of them wander a little bit. So, but I'm just making excuses now, aren't I? So, but that's the way it goes. That's why it's called, like everybody says, fishing and not catching. So I know what I'm up against on here, and I couldn't move because if I'd tried to move where that bloke's been fishing, if I knew he'd been catching on that point. There's people in them pegs anyway that was right next to him, obviously, because he knows how to fish. So I can't get nowhere near anywhere else to where he's fishing. So anyway, so have a brew and then get my rigs ready and that ready to have a recast. And that's it, that'll be my last recast. I might just put a couple more spawns over the top of each, just to freshen it, that's all. At the end of the day, just gets rid of that last little bit of bait as well, the lucky I suppose. Got nothing to lose, I've tried playing it safe. Yeah, just a quick update. I got cut off last time because the battery ran out, but I'd finished saying what I was saying anyway. So yeah, I put some more spawns out. I put about another 15 out over that bar and another 10 over my other rod. Because at the end of the day, nothing's been happening with what I've been doing anyway, so sod it. I've put bait in last night and I've put bait in tonight, which I wouldn't normally do, but I've got to try something different just to see. I mean, obviously, while I've been down here, I saw them couple of fish when I was first down here, but I just don't think the fish have been down here. I think what I've got to learn to start doing is moving. if I come like this again for 5-6 days or whatever, after a couple of days I've got to bite the bullet and just move, regardless whether it's chucking it down the brain or not. And another thing, I think I need to start getting some pegs and just getting some spots going in just some areas and keep baiting them areas, even if I can afford to, come a couple of times a week with a spot and my marker sticks and just do them areas and put a bit of bait in, even if it's only tins of corn or something, and just get them areas going, as well as a few margin spots, so that I know I've always got them there to fall in and try and see what's what with it. But you know, it's just another thing to think about, isn't it? So, but I'm going to sign off for now. It's just a quick update, nothing's happened. Like I say, I've put 2 rods back out on that bar. It's about 15 spoms gone over it. Probably, no, but yeah, about 15-16 spoms, and then there's about 9-10 gone over this right hand rod that's out at, what is it, 73 yards or something like that, 70 yards on that other patch. But you can see the rain's stopped now, finally. It's really windy again, it's blowing southeasterly at the minute, so, and it has been doing all day, but it looks really good for a bite. But I don't know, I mean, we've had these conditions before while I've been here and nothing's happened. So as far as I know, it's just that one bloke who's had them fish out, and to get 4 out like that is unheard of, I think, on it. I think you're lucky to get 1 out within a few months, never mind get 4 in a go like that. So fair play to the lad. Right, I'll catch you in a bit, people. Adios, amigos. Right, update time, people. It's now, what day are we on? It's Wednesday morning, about 11:15. I've had a line this morning because nothing's been happening, and then I've just started to pack some things away, and I've just had a liner just this minute on my left hand rod, and there's birds out there as well, and it's none of the birds, I don't know, it might have just been something in the margin, but no, nothing. So it's been a tough trip, this has. You know, the weather's been all over the place. I mean, last night's been windy and rainy again. Same this morning, it seems to clear up, then it was cold again, then it's windy, then it's raining. And the next thing you know, it's like now I'm sat here and it's gone really warm again. So there's no wonder it's not fishing very well. So as far as I can gather, the only person that's had any fish is that bloke on the point who had 4 or 5. I don't think since I've been here nobody else has had a fish out. But in general, I don't think I could have fished it any better. I mean, I've stuck to my 3 spots that were good spots. You know, I've tried putting small amounts of bait in, being careful, not feeding for a few days, and putting a little bit more, and then the last couple of days I've just decided to put quite a bit of bait in just to see if that does anything. But nothing still, so yeah. A lot of figuring out this place is going to take, but it's going to be fun doing it. Yeah, so I don't know what the video is going to turn out like, because it's a long video, it's probably really boring. I bet people don't even watch it all the way through. I mean, I don't know. But next time, if I come for as long as this, I'll not do as long a video, because if you're not catching any fish, it's a bit monotonous and boring, isn't it? So, but I'm going to sign off for now. Say thanks to those that have watched it all the way through. Thanks for subscribing and thanks for your comments, everybody. When I'll be back, I do not know, because I've got a lot of work to do. I mean, I've got a lot of work done while I've been here, but I've got a lot of work to do and money's a bit tight at the minute, but hopefully I'll get back in a few weeks' time. I've got some bits and bobs to sort out. I need some new bits and bobs and pick some more gas up and stuff, so. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been brilliant. It's just been really tough. I mean, the weather's been all over the place. It has. I don't think it'd make any difference if I stuck here for a couple more days. I just don't think the fish are down here. I think they was down here when I first got here, because I had them saw them 2 shows, and then I had that pick-up at 6:30 in the morning. When I picked the rod up, there was nothing there. So I think to start with, I think I was on the fish, but since then I don't think I have been, to be honest with you. I've seen the odd smaller one, I think, milling about around the margin and that, but I just don't think I've been on them. So maybe I've got to get used to the fact that I'm going to have to move about more, I think. And even if I do move and I don't get a note, at least it gets me into that where I'm trying to move to see signs of fish and that again. But then again, I didn't say anything, so I didn't have anything to go on anyway, so why move when I'm in an area where I know I've caught fish from before? So I don't think I've done anything wrong. It's just one of them sessions, that's all. So, right, I'm going to go, people, because I've got to get packed down. Drive back to Mansfield. So, tight lines, happy angling. Catch you all later. Adios, amigos.